Kia ora whanau. Welcome to a little snippet of a teaching that I have been doing with some of my students, and this is just a basic explanation of what I actually see or sense when I am healing somebody. And I wanted to show you this because I've been talking a lot about how we are all made from energy and how we are connected to the universe and how you are a physical representation of Iwa Matua Kore, God or the universe or source energy, whatever that is for you. So this is just a brief explanation of how that is and why that is. So please excuse my drawing. Drawing is not my forte, as you can see, but it sort of can give you the gist of what I want to actually explain and talk about. So the first thing is just imagine that this piece of paper is the universe and your body, and that's your body, and you are in the middle of the universe, and around you is like this great big huge energetic field that's oval shaped, and all these things are part of that energy field. Now there you can see there's lots of squares in there. That's called a grid. So your energy field is made of a huge magnetic grid. So the energy field is magnetic, which means that it attracts everything. So it attracts positive and negative things. Now within this grid and around you is the universe. Understanding that the universe is infinite, it's limitless, it's endless, and it's what we call in Te Reo Māori Te Reo Mutana Kore. There is just space, if you can imagine that. Now within this space, or within this energetic field, it's magnetic, and this is where everything spiritual, everything energetic exists. And so I just wanted to explain how people, or how you exist within this energy field within the universe. All right, so to begin with, there's a very, very simple diagram of our bodies, and as you can see, the head, the spine, the legs and the arms, and everything that exists around you and within you. And just imagine that this is your actual body, and all these things are within you, and they are also around you within this huge universal magnetic grid. Ka pai? All right, now you are a soul, so you are 99% spiritual, and your physical body or your physical vessel is only 1% of you. Now your soul, some people call it your inner being or your counterpart, and in Māori it's wairua. Your soul, part of your soul, lives within you. Now it lives within every part of you, within your DNA, within your cells, because your cells, your DNA, everything about you is made of these very, very amazing and marvelous subatomic particles. And if you are scientific and want to get into more detail about that, These subatomic particles are the crux of our existence. Everything in existence is made of these subatomic particles that are in our atoms, in our cells, in everything that we are made of. They are also in the universe, because the universe is made of these subatomic particles, hence why everything is so connected together. And these subatomic particles are made of energy or light. And so that energy, your energy, universal energy, the energy of your soul or your whanau, exists within you and around you, 24/7, non-stop. And you can tell it's 24/7 non-stop because you're still alive and you're breathing. Because it's your soul and that energy that's keeping you alive. It's your soul and that's energy that automates you. It's your soul and that your energy that animates you. It's your soul and your energy that controls every part of you. Even though people think that your brain does, but it's your energy and your soul that controls every part of you. To a certain extent, there is a part there where you control the soul and your energy, well, you're supposed to, but 99% of the time, your soul and your energy controls you, because you are a soul. You're a soul that has a physical vessel, a physical body or conduit that is attached to it. A lot of people think that you're a physical being that has a soul within you. It's the other way around. You are attached to your soul. Now, part of your soul lives in you, say about 5% of the soul is within you. The rest of it is outside of you within this grid and in the universe, because your soul is immense. It's really amazing to truly understand the immensity of your soul and how it is attached and how it fits within your physical body so that you can be animated and automated. Excuse me, to grasp that some concept takes a bit of a mind shift, takes a shift in your perception. But once you get to understand that, you really understand how miraculous life is and how miraculous it is for you to actually be here on this planet. Because it's a miracle, it's a miraculous thing to truly understand how you came to be and how you came to be on this planet right now, right where you are. All right, so you are a soul that lives in a vibrational energetic universe that has a grid. Everything in existence has a grid at different levels. So the universe has a grid, and everything pertaining to vibrations and frequency has their own grid. For an example, your physical body has its own grid, your soul has its own grid. And each one of these dots represent energy centers. A lot of people know them as your chakras. A lot of people believe that there's only 7, but there's an infinite amount of energy centers within your body and outside of your body. However, from a Māori point of view, we call them portals. They are portals. They are doorways. They are kuaha to the different dimensionality of who you really are. Because even though you can just see your physical body, you are multi-dimensional, because your soul is multi-dimensional. Your soul is a multi-dimensional vibrational light being, which is completely different to what you may believe and what you've known, but that's just how it is. Your soul is multidimensional. Your soul exists, I should say, in the universe. Part of it exists in the universe and part of it exists within you, within your spiritual manawa, your spiritual heart, which is at the back of your physical heart. And I'll explain that in a minute. So, as you have all these amazing energy centers or chakras, from a Māori point of view, they are portals. And from a Māori point of view, we have many portals. We understand the many portals that exist within us and around us. But the three main ones that pertain to our body are your manawa, which is your heart, which is right here. Your pū manawa, which is your puku. And your whatu manawa. So why these are important? Because those three portals alone can help you enter every other dimension, every other realm, every other world that you need to do, that you need to enter to help you heal your body. Because when we're talking about healing your body, we're actually talking about healing your soul. So to effect a healing on your physical body, you have to go spiritually. You have to heal the spiritual aspects of you to heal your physical body. Because your physical ailments, your physical illnesses, and your physical diseases are the last indication that something is wrong with you spiritually. Now, no matter what you believe, no matter what you understand, you cannot heal your physical body alone. You have to heal your spiritual parts of you. You have to heal the soul parts of you first to actually affect or perform a healing on your physical body. In fact, for a healer, you wouldn't even worry about the physical body, because you would know, or most healers, psychic, clairvoyants, whatever that it is, must know that to heal your physical body, you have to go to your spiritual part of you first. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time just healing your physical body. You have to understand the spiritual parts of you, your multidimensionalities, and every part of you to actually effect a successful healing on your physical body. It's a must. It just is. That's how it is. Because you are 99% spiritual and energetic. And your physical illnesses and your physical diseases or ailments are just the last indication that you need to fix something within your energetic field. That's all a disease is. It's just an indication that something is wrong in your energetic field. And once you understand that, then you can just go to that particular part of your energy field that needs to be fixed. And through these three manawa, through your manawa, your pū manawa and whatu manawa, you can actually go straight to your soul or to your spiritual self to actually do that. You don't really have to know about every other energy field or every other chakra or every other portal, as long as you understand the importance of these three portals or these three manawa. And the Māori word, and manawa means, the Pākehā word for manawa is your heart. Well, it's just a brief explanation of what your manawa is, but in depth it means a lot more. Okay, so up here with your other energy centres or portals, the first one right up here is matariki. Now, matariki is really, really important to Māoridom, because that is the beginning of a new year. Matariki comes around about May, June. Well, actually it exists all the time. We just believe that it comes out in May and June, but it exists all the time in our physical realms. You just have to understand how to see it and where it actually is. So matariki is always around us, but Māori are really focused on that from May to June, because that's the beginning of our new year. And also, matariki is where Māori actually originated from. It's actually where humanity originated from. The Pākehā word for matariki is Pleiades. And if you understand the history of Pleiades and the Pleiadians and how our DNA exists from them, they actually helped create our DNA, you would understand why it's so important to Māoridom. And so matariki is a representation of the 7 most important stars in our solar system. And why and the different things that happened during that time for us as a culture and for us as a people, as a race. Below Matariki is your star seed. Now, energy comes from light and light comes from stars. And so the star seed is like our star parents or our light parents. There is a lot of whakaheke. So whakaheke is the Māori word for a genealogical perspective, but from a spiritual point of view. And whakapapa is a genealogical perspective, but from a physical point of view. So everything above is a whakaheke and everything below is a whakapapa. So whakapapa is just the different terms for genealogy or the history of where we actually came from. So you have Matariki there, then you have your star seed, and you have two other portals, which I completely forgot the names of, and I don't have my my healing bubble with me at the moment, so I will just put those in later. Now the next portal is on the top of your head, which is your crown, and this is where your mare kura or upper kura connect with you, and your mare kura and your upper kura are what in Pākehā is called your mighty Elohim. Now the Elohim are the creators of the universe. They help create you. They help create your physical body. And so there are 7 of them, which all relates to Matariki. So there are 7 mare kura and 7 upper kura. Mare kura represents the female energy, and the upper kura represents the male energy. And the 7 mighty Elohim, there are 7 males and 7 females from a spiritual and Māori perspective. And there are many other things that pertain to the crown area. Now the next portal is your whatumanawa, and that's your third eye. Now a lot of people truly don't understand what your third eye is. Your third eye, everybody believes that it can be opened and closed, and everybody believes that it's in the middle of your forehead, which it is. But more importantly, it sits in your pineal gland, which is a little gland that's right in the middle, right in the back in the middle of your brain. And what affects that the most is the sun, is the light. And I'll explain that more in another session when I teach my students and you how to actually use your whatumanawa to actually effect a healing, but also to help improve your life. Now, that's the next portal, and the portal below that is in your throat. It's your throat chakra or your throat portal. The next one after that is your heart. Now, when I'm talking about your manawa, which is the Māori word for heart, I'm not talking about your physical heart, I'm talking about your spiritual heart. There is a spiritual heart that sits in the back of your physical heart. Now, whether you believe that or not is irrelevant, because it just is. And to truly understand that your spiritual heart is there, sometimes you can feel it when you just sort of have this ache in the back of you, right in the middle of your back, at the back. You can just feel this kind of ache, this kind of annoyance, and you're trying to get rid of it. You can actually get a massage, or you can get realigned or anything, but that kind of ache and just annoyance or just kind of niggle will continue to sit there. That's because that chakra or that portal needs to be unblocked or cleansed, because your spiritual heart is the powerhouse. It's the magnetic field of your entire body, of your entire life. And if it's not cleansed or cleared, then you will feel really, really stuck, and you will feel as if you can't breathe, and you will feel claustrophobic, you will feel contained, you will feel limited, you will feel as if you are in a closet. Even though you're in a big room, you will feel so confined within every area of your life, and that's because this chakra here, this portal, your manawa, your spiritual mana, that particular energetic field is blocked. And it's really important to understand that, because sometimes especially for women when when we're wearing our bras. A lot of women think that because their bras might be too tight or misplaced, and that's causing the niggle that's just right in the in the middle of your back, and you're trying to adjust your bra, but you still know that it's there. That's your that portal, that's your manawa portal that actually needs to be cleansed. Now, when you're actually talking about your energy fields, they are very, very subtle. So what I mean by that is that you can feel things in your body that just are not right, that you may have gone through a massage, you may have gone through a healing, you may have gone to a chiropractor, a doctor, a physiotherapist, but there's still this niggle that's within your body that you just can't seem to get rid of. That's an indication that one of these or all of these portals need to be cleansed, opened up and activated. And your manawa and your whatu manawa are the first two portals that you really need to take notice of. Because if you have a headache, then a headache, a migraine, anything that's happening around your head, your eyes and your ears, then it's your whatu manawa that you actually need to have a look at. And you need to have it cleansed and cleared and really find out what's actually happening with that. If anything's happening with the top part of your body, like with your chest, with your lungs, with your throat, with the back of your shoulders, with the back of in the middle of your back, your top upper back, then that would be your manawa. Something's happening there. And if you feel that your heart rate is out of sync, is out of alignment, or it's pacing or it's slowing down, it's basically got nothing to do with your physical heart. It's your spiritual heart that actually needs to be looked at more than anything, because your spiritual heart actually controls your physical heart. And I kid you not, that's just how it is. I've been doing this a very long time now, and with Māori, one of the top 5 diseases where Māori die from is from heart disease, and it's just because they don't understand that it's the spiritual heart that actually activates and controls your physical heart. And no matter what happens to your physical heart, if something is happening to your physical heart, you really need to look at this energetic field, because this is the one that's actually needs to be looked at and cleansed and cleared and activated, so that you can heal yourself in that area. The next portal is your solar plexus, which is just under your heart, and you can feel where that is, because that's when you have a lot of burps, or you keep, I can't even remember the word of it, when you keep burping, or you have indigestion, heartburn, that kind of stuff. That's because your solar plexus, that portal there, needs to be looked at and investigated and find out what's happening there. With your pū manawa, that's your puku, anything that you have to do, anything with your bowels, with your digestion, with your intestines, with anything that pertains into that area, if you have any stomach issues, if any allergies, anything like that, anything to do with food or allergies, medications are really, really important to actually have a look at, because if you're taking medications and you are having stomachs in this area, that means that the medication is affecting this portal, and it needs to be looked at. A lot of people think that they have big bellies that stick out a lot because of their body fat, or they've got fat bellies. That's only part of it, because if there's something wrong with your stomach, then your stomach will protrude a lot until it's actually fixed. So your 3 main portals to actually really, really focus on will be your pū manawa, your manawa and your whatu manawa, because you can use those to access every other portal within you and around you to effect a healing, to heal yourself. And then the last one that's within your body is your root chakra, and this is everything to do with your reproductive areas for male and female. So anything that's happening with your periods, with your moods, with your reproductive areas, with infertility, anything like that, even with your bowels, because I know that with men with their prostate, with anything to do with their sexualities, all that kind of stuff has got to do with this portal. And if you have any issues with that, like especially with women who have menopause, and men also have these as well, but it's not well known. But men also have their moods, and they also go through a kind of period kind of stage, and also a menopausal kind of stage, because of things that are happening in this area. Now, even though men don't have their periods, what they also do is they have huge hormonal changes, and when they have a hormonal change, they have a biological and chemical changes that happen in this area. And so you would notice that if you are having anything to do with your prostate, with your bowels, with any erections, with anything to do with your sexuality, anything like that, you would know that this part of a male is blocked. Women are more familiar because we have our monthlies, we have our reproductive organs, we have our babies and all that sort of stuff. But with males, it's a little bit different. It's not very well known what actually happens within that area for a male, but it's all got to do with your hormones and with the chemical and biological reactions that happen in this reproductive organs that affect that area. So it's really important to actually recognise that. So anything happening in that area, it will affect your reproductive areas and your bowel areas immensely, more than I can even actually imagine or say. And it's very, very subtle, and it's very, very slight. And when it starts to be painful, and when it starts to feel quite hot within and around that area, then that means that it's getting to a more serious stage. And then when you can feel like burning sensations within that area, then you know that it's a serious stage where you actually really, really need to actually find out what the hell is happening in that area, because that area is connected to your fire element. And it's there for a reason, because everything that happens in that area in terms of energetically, it's very, very subtle. And subtle, I mean that you won't notice it at first until you're really, really aware of it, or until you start feeling uncomfortable in that area. This area more than any other area that you that you have on your body. And then this area here, your root chakra, is also connected to your earth element, hence why the earth and fire elements are connected to each other, because fire and earth, they sync with each other to either heal you or make you unwell. All right, so as you have these portals that run from above you and through you, they go right down into Papatūnuku, and Papatūnuku is the Māori word for Mother Earth. And Papatūnuku has these amazing grids or amazing portals within her. So she has an earth grid, a crystalline grid, and a magnetic grid. And in these grids she has portals, and these portals you can enter so that you can actually go into her earth grid or into a crystalline grid and her magnetic grid. You won't be able to go into her grids unless you go into those portals first. And then below all her grids, or within her grid, she has all these other beautiful portals that you can enter her to actually help her cleanse earth, help her cleanse herself, the many ways that she does. And if you are someone who understands how to cleanse our whenua, our lands, or help her cleanse herself, then these will be the three main portals that you will actually work in predominantly. Because once you enter those three portals, then you can go into every other portal, every other dimension that exists within Papatūnuku. And it's the same above. We're actually cleansing our air, ranginui, which is Sky Father, which is part of the universe, God or the quantum field. Ranginui is the name of this big huge grid that's all around us. He also has these amazing grids, and he also has these amazing portals. Now within Ranginui, or within that part of the universe, the spiritual realms are structured in an orderly manner. Whatever way they are structured in an orderly manner, that is how the Māori culture is structured. So within the spiritual realms, they have departments, they have their different departments, and within their departments they have different angels, archangels, and masters and all that sort of stuff. I'll go into that in another video once I catch up to that with my students. But in a Māori perspective, like the traditional Māori perspective, we had departments, but we called them whare. We have different whares, and within each whare there's a particular piece of knowledge, and within that piece of knowledge is everything that I'm talking about here. So I hope this is making sense for you. And this is just the context of what I talk about in my post and where I'm actually coming from. Because a lot of people have asked me, what I'm talking about and how I know all this sort of stuff. So I just wanted to share this little snippet of our universe, of our bodies, of us as people, and where we actually come from a spiritual and a Māori perspective. Because everything spiritual, when I am talking about everything spiritual, I am talking about everything Māori, because Māoridom and spirituality are the same thing, just from a different perspective than the conventional Pākehā one that we actually have at the moment. So this is another thing that's really important to understand. So this is my really unorthodox or crude drawing of a tetrahedron. Now this tetrahedron, which is like I'm just drawing that there, which is like a triangle upside down, and then another one across it, but dimensionally, or 3 or 5 dimensionally. Now this here, you have it around you. This is like a huge energetic field that's actually around you. That there is like your vehicle that you can use to travel dimensionally. Now a lot of people term this as astral travel, but you're not actually traveling astrally, your soul's the one that's traveling, so it does that automatically. But it uses a very cool vehicle which is called your makaba. Now that's a Pākehā word for it, but for a Māori word, this is your takuira. This is called your takuira that's around you, and your soul uses that to travel wherever it wants to travel, especially if you are consciously going with it. So you can do many things in this makaba. You can actually use this takuira or your makaba alone to heal yourself without actually activating your these portals. So that's just another level of healing that you can actually use. There are many levels of healing. What I'm talking about is just like a snippet of the kind of healing that you can actually do. But for now, just think about your whatu mana, which is in the middle of your eyebrows, your manawa, your spiritual manawa, which is at the back of your physical heart, and your pū manawa, which is your stomach, and just take some time to just sit down for about 15 minutes and spend 5 minutes focusing on your whatu manawa, and you can do that just by closing your eyes and looking at your forehead, but while your eyes are closed. So you've got your eyes focused on the back of your forehead, and just sit there for 5 minutes and just notice what your energy is doing and what it's actually saying to you and what you're actually feeling. And then once you've done that for 5 minutes, then do the same with your spiritual heart. And to access that, you just focus on your physical heart, and it'll take you to your spiritual heart, because they're really connected together. Just do the same. Just sit there, just focus on your heart, and notice what the energy is doing, what your energy is doing, what you're feeling, and what messages or intuition you are getting. And just do the same with your pūmanawa, with your stomach. So you just sit up or lie down flat, and with your pūmanawa, just focus on your navel and just lie there, preferably without any thoughts in your head, preferably with a clear mind, and just notice what your energy is doing in each of those areas. Spend 5 minutes on those areas every day, and just find out what those particular portals or energy centers are telling you, what your energy is actually telling you. Alright guys, so that is it for now. If this has been valuable for you, just please like, share and comment. If you have any questions, just pop them below this video. I'll be happy to answer them. Alright whanau, ka kite Mauriora, and I'll see you in the next video.